we'll start with Hart. And because Omer is the most valuable part of this podcast, you can start.
I'm starting with the Hart Trophy. Okay, so I'm giving you my third place pick.
And then we'll go Evan, and then we'll go me.
Okay. Well, at the moment, oh man, I'm torn on if I want to be funny with this or pick a real one. Okay.
Ooh, what your head tells you, bro. As long as you can argue it.
You know what? I don't care what you say. I think I can argue it. My third is Austin Matthews.
You can argue it.
For which
I could
one?
argue. Hart.
Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not picking him for Norris, so. All right, Ivan.
My third in Hart voting is Connor McDavid.
My third in Hart, David Pastrnak.
That makes sense.
Fair
And-
enough.
Oh, we explain, or should we say all our players and explain, or one at a time?
Let's go. Let's finish the picks now. We'll say our explanations.
Okay.
Omer, your second.
Okay, my second would be Connor McDavid.
My second would be Nikita Kucherov.
My second's Connor McDavid.
And my first is Nathan McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon. So
Wow.
very unanimous first. I think it's hard to argue against him right now.
You can't argue against him right now.
Yeah. I do think that, the way McDavid's played in the last 2 months, it's not out of the question that you can catch him.
The way he's played in the last 2 months is the only reason he's second on my list.
Well, precisely. But
Otherwise, it would be Kucherov or Pastrnak.
Yeah. All right. So wait, why do you have? What's your case for Matthews here?
Okay. Well, in his if you go back to his 60th goal season when he did win it, and Evan was ablaze that he won it. Okay. He had he had a point in saying that the Leafs were still a really good regular season team, regardless if he scored 60 goals or not. He wasn't, that 60 goals did not hugely impact if they made the playoffs or whatnot. I think his play this season, getting 40 and 49 so far, single-handedly coming, he has 3 hat tricks this season, and 1 or 2 of those at least are when the Leafs were down 2-0 or whatever, and they needed goals to come back and win the game. And with the shaky season they're having, if he continues this pace and he scores another 60 goal season or whatever, I think he's a huge reason why they'll actually get into a wild card this season or anything, because they're only 6 points up right now in a wild card. They're tied with Detroit or within a point of them or something in the wild cards. And it's a tight race between Tampa, Toronto, Detroit, at least right now for the 3rd division spot. So it's a pretty vital season in terms of, it's not just a breezy season like it's been where, okay, 2nd or 3rd in the division, you're guaranteed. So, just keep playing, whatever. It's they need the wins, and he's been a huge impact in them getting wins this season.
Honestly, it's not like Matthews is that outlandish. I was just hyping it up a lot. I think I have him at 5. I think 3 to 5 for me is a little or even 2 to 5 is a little you could kind of make a case for any of them at 2, any of them at 5. But that's kind of why I have Pastrnak at 3rd. Season's gone extremely underrated. He's 4th in goals and 4th in points or something like that. Or 3rd in points. I don't know what it actually is, but the argument that I always make is put them on an average team kind of thing, and that's kind of what happened in Boston, just in general, because they got 2 of their biggest or 2 of the most important players taken from them. The decor got a little stripped down a little bit, so the offense was it's pretty much just up to him and Marshawn, and Marshawn isn't having as good of a season as he has in the past because he's getting older. So a lot of that weight has been put on Pasternak's shoulders, and I think he's carrying it pretty well. And I think that, the only other person that I would necessarily have at 3, though, is Kucherov. But I feel like the only argument I could really say for him is that he's the leading scorer in the league. And, that has a lot to do with things like secondary assists and stuff like that. The thing is, like, Kucherov also played really well at the start of the season. Has kind of tailed off, but he's still like producing at like a steady pace. Where I think Pasternak has like willed his team into a place where it's like they're firmly in first or second or whatever, and no one really thought that they would be here.
Yeah.
The other thing with like Matthews too, I think that Matthews, like, he's been hot of late. There is stretches where he goes like 6 games without scoring, and he scores 2 hat tricks. Like, I think the consistency there is a little bit of a problem with me having him at 3rd, which is the case that I would make him for him to be outside of it.
Evan, you're Connor McDavid at 3. I mean, you're going to have the same explanation as we're going to have for him at 2.
I mean, like, yeah, he had a slow start to the season, injury or not, still applies.
Slow start for him.
Yeah, slow start for him. And so, for me, Edmonton as a whole with the new coach picked it up. Like, Zach Hyman is on a tear. Evan Bouchard picked it up. Skinner started playing better. So it wasn't just him that turned the team around. It was like everyone was like, all right, let's get her going here. So it's not like he's like 90 points already, and then the next person's like Draisaitl at 70, and then it's like everyone else at like 40. He's obviously the best player on the team, but a lot of people turned it around at the same time, so I don't think it's purely just McDavid.
I agree. That's why I struggled with like, I wanted to put Kucherov in there as well, or Pasternak, and potentially in my second slot, because I thought, from what I've noticed, it's like, yeah, McDavid's still the best player and all that and whatnot. But I do think that since the coaching change, Edmonton has, like, as a group, picked it up everywhere. And they're playing more of a defensive team game and whatnot that's working. Stuart Skinner's back. Everyone's kind of back at the right time. So while Connor McDavid is like still leading the charge and stuff, I don't think it's like him solely doing everything and getting them to this position. Like, they've won 16 in a row or whatever, because everyone's kind of on the same page right now, which is
really. But I do think that, like, the reason why I have him in second, though, is because of how he's kind of changed his game a little bit. Like, he's kind of having that like, Crosby isn't as good defensively now, but he went through like a phase where it was kind of all or nothing, offense or nothing. And then around like 2012, 13, Crosby became like this extremely amazing two-way center because he just like stopped taking as many chances and like was paying attention more in the defensive details and stuff like that. And I think if you just watch Edmonton games, like, McDavid isn't playing the same high octane way that he has in the past, like, where everything is just go, 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 and like, I'm just taking as many chances as possible. He's been extremely responsible defensively and like has been one of the better defensive centers that's on a first line in the league right now, which speaks volumes to him and how he's changed his game a lot. Because the fact that he's improved his game defensively as much as he had this year, while also, being a well above average offensive player, I think has to put him in second. The thing is, like, the point production too, he was like way behind McKinnon and Kucherov, and now he's caught up to them. Like, not caught up to them, but it seems like he made the difference from like 30 points to like 15 points very quickly. So if he does that while playing amazing defense, I don't have any doubt in my mind that he's going to catch McKinnon by the end of the season.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
and the Nate Dog, number 1, clean sweep. Give him the trophy now.
I don't think there's a I don't think there's a doubt right now anyway.
Bro, I mean, recently.
I mean, when your goalie's letting in like 3.5 goals per game, someone's got to score, and he is doing everything in his power to score 18 times a game.
It's insane how dominant he is. It's pretty crazy. Like,
I
what's
swear, I'll check the score of the game too. And it's like, oh, a Josh Manson goal from Andrew Cogliano with a secondary assist from Nathan McKinnon. Like he's like on the ice all the time, apparently.
the thing with him too is like he's so like we talk about like McDavid's speed and stuff, and I feel like McKinnon is like that guy can fly, man. He's insanely fast.
Well, I feel like McDavid looks like a pretty bird. It's like,
yeah,
or like he's
Hard-
like looks like he's like a rhino, and he's like, if you like get in his way, you're gonna get trucked.
yeah.
It's because
Like I think
like
he's not far off in speed. He's not. His shot is insane.
yeah,
His
McDavid's sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
oh, it's all good.
The way McDavid skates is like kind of effortless, where it's like he just takes really long strides, and he is faster than everyone else. McKinnon like kind of wills himself to be faster than everyone, where he's still like probably just like a step behind. Like I think like it's like McDavid's speed, Barzell, and then McKinnon's like right after that, and like Makar's right after that too, actually. But McKinnon's like crossovers. You see the way because he does like high step crossovers,
Yeah,
and like is weaving his way through the ice. Yeah, the thing is like they also got off to a pretty slow start in Colorado, offensively. And then when Makar came back from injury, like things just started running for them offensively. But you're right, like Gorgiev shouldn't have even been an all-star, but he was. He's leading the league in wins, and has a large part to do with the fact that McKinnon, Makar, and Rantanen are going again.